first book I read this month is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I really love this cover. There are different covers as well, and I love every single one of them. This is a book that I've wanted since it came out, pretty much because I love the title and the cover, and of course what it was about as well. And then it was for 3 for £10 on Amazon, so I bought it and I read it straight away. I have to say, I really love this book. It's completely different from most books that I read. I usually read a lot of fantasy and young adult, although I have been straying to other genres because I pretty much like every single genre and I want to read more of those. Anyway, what I really liked about this, first of all, there is some element of magic in here. It's about this girl called Nella Ortman, and she lives in the Netherlands. She lives in Overijssel, I think. I'm not quite sure, it's not really important. She lives somewhere in a town, and she's getting married to this man that she hardly knows, and she's really nervous about it. So she arrives at her new house in Amsterdam, where her husband is, or I think her husband isn't there yet, which she finds pretty weird that her husband isn't there to greet her, and but her sister-in-law is there, who seems kind of cold and distant. Sorry, that was my alarm. She seems kind of cold and distant, and there are 2 servants, a man and a girl, and basically life is not what she expected. Her husband is kind of cold towards her. He doesn't visit her at night. He doesn't really talk to her or kiss her or anything like that. And but he does give her a present, which is a tiny miniature house, which looks exactly like the house they live in, which Nella kind of sees as a real insult, because those houses were given to little kids so that they could practice being a wife and run a household and stuff like that. And she considers herself grown, which, I mean, she's married, and I think she's 16 or something. Oh, 18. She's 18, and you were pretty much grown back then. It takes place in 1686. So yeah, she finds it kind of an insult. Basically, the story is all about her coming to terms with where she lives and finding out more about all these mysterious people in her house that don't really talk to her or don't really share anything. They're not very friendly, except maybe for the servants who kind of warm up to her. And she finds more about a husband, and there's this miniaturist who lives in the Kalverstraat, which is the main shopping street of Amsterdam, and she sends these perfect miniature figurines which look exactly like the furniture she has at home, and she also sends things that seem to predict the future. So there is an element of fantasy and mystery in it, which I found amazing. It was really interesting. I really wanted to know what was going on, and for me especially it was really interesting because it took place in old-fashioned Amsterdam, and I study in Amsterdam, so I knew a lot of the places they were talking about. The town hall, which is now the Royal Palace, and the Kalverstraat, which is, as I said, the main shopping street, and a lot of other places that I've been to, and the old church that I go to. I visited once a while back, and it was a lot of fun for me being Dutch and having gone to Amsterdam to see how old-fashioned Amsterdam was. But I do recommend this book for anyone, especially if you like historical books with a bit of fantasy element in there and a bit of mystery.